The iFootage Cobra Strike 3 Monopod. Who is this for, and what are its limitations? That's what we're going to talk about today. So the iFootage Cobra Strike 3 comes in at $449, so $450 on Amazon. And I think this is a really cool monopod. It's got this button to be able to lock the monopod at all levels. This seems to work just fine. I was worried at first that this was going to be just a little bit hokey and maybe not hold up the camera weight. I have put the Ronin 4D on here, which is about 12 pounds, and it holds it just fine. Full camera rig FX3 does just fine once you get it all balanced out and everything. So I think this is probably for the run and gun, wedding shooter type of person. And you just need a quick little setup, something that's lightweight. This thing is super light. I'm not sure of the exact weight, but I'll put it in on the video somewhere. And it's really easy to just move around. It breaks down pretty small. So this is going to be a little bit longer than the Cobra Strike 3 when it's in the shortest setting. So that's something to be aware of when you're purchasing this, if that is something that means anything to you. In this package, you also get the K5S fluid head from iFootage. Pretty nice little fluid head. All the things seem to work just fine on it. It's pretty smooth when it turns and everything. It feels like a Manfrotto type of setup. So it's nothing that's going to be unexpected or feel cheap to you. This is all metal, so this feels nice. And everything seems to work just fine. So you do have these three sections that you can break it into any configuration that you want to. It's just got this little like snap and click type thing. Sometimes it's a little tough to get in there, but you know, push and pull type of system. And then you have this little step pedal to be able to articulate the stick or the head, which is pretty nice. So you can just stand on this and then lock it into place when you're just shooting, sitting straight up, and then like move it around and all those good things. And then the pan and tilt functions on this seem to work really nicely and smoothly. Haven't had any issues with this at all. I do quite like this monopod for what it is. The other person I feel like this is probably for is a Flex 4D shooter. So you can take this system and then put the Flex head on this and then wear your backpack for the Ronin 4D. And you get this really cool, like, you know, Steadicam stick type thing that you can use where you can get a lot of like push and pull outs and then also have the gimbal on it. You can also put I've seen people put a Ronin 4 or RS3 on this, which is really cool. So you can get the gimbal on the top of this, which is nice and fun. I did originally purchase the Cobra 3 and then send it back to get the Strike version with the button. I'm using it with a Ronin 4D, so I wanted to be able to just quickly open and close this instead of dealing with all the latches on the Cobra 3. So the Strike seemed to be a better fit, and I'm happy that I did that. It works great, and I'm very happy with this monopod. It's not something that you're going to be able to. I feel comfortable just setting a camera on and leaving it. You're always going to have a hand on it with any monopod type of thing. Although it is pretty sturdy, I will say, like the legs. The base of this is pretty wide, and you do get some pretty good stability out of it. I mean, it feels really solidly constructed, and I think you're gonna be happy with this purchase if you do get one, especially if you're just that run and gun shooter, you know, wedding videographer type of person. This is gonna suit you well. A lot of times monopod, setting it up and, you know, the weight of them and everything is just a little bit too much for what we need. Sometimes you make sacrifices and get the smaller, cheaper tripods, and they don't really hold up, and they just feel cheap, and they're not great. So this feels like a good compromise, middle of the road type of thing, where you can still get the benefit of having like a nice stable shot, and then also having something that's nice and lightweight and compact that you can bring with you anywhere. The other cool thing is setting this down on a table. Like let's say you're you know, shooting, you know, in an office setting or a talking head type thing, you can just set this down and just operate this on a table. This feels like it's completely safe and stable and ready to go. So I did put the 4D on this for a interview recently and just set it on a table, and it just tracked the guy, and it was a lot of fun. It was super cool to use. So what's some of the cons of the Cobra Strike 3? The price point might be a little bit much for some people. Some of the other monopods out there coming around, you know, $200 or $300. that do something similar. Although I do feel like you get the fluid head with this and everything, and then this articulating thing, and then the benefit of having this button on here to lift this up and down quickly is worth the extra money. So to me, that feels like it's worth it. It works well. I mean, it stops and locks like really quickly and promptly and fast, and it's safe and it's stable from what I can tell. So I do think it is worth that price tag personally. Other limitations, like I said, is you always got to have a hand on a monopod, so that's going to be another thing. That might not bother some people. They may already be used to that and just looking for an upgrade. And then this is probably the thing for you. Also comes in like a nice tripod type bag where you can break everything down and just kind of throw it in the trunk of your car. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to talk about on this monopod. It's a great system. I think it's pretty ingenious. I did think this was going to feel bulky and you know, just kind of non-ergonomic at first when I was looking at it. It just seemed like it's a big piece, but this doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it fits perfectly in my hand. It feels like it is the right size for my hand and to move this up and down. And I think this is probably one of the better monopods on the market, and it's definitely worth looking and checking out. I'm not sponsored by anybody, obviously. I'm a small channel, so this is just like an honest review. These things that I use, like I said, I bought the other one. I couldn't decide which one of these I wanted because I was used to the latch system, and this seemed like it was just kind of, you know, it was something new. So I was a little hesitant and scared at first to commit to this, but this is a great system, so I think you're gonna like it. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about anything that I didn't answer, I'm sure I forgot something, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.